What is going on, guys? I'm Consumer Tech Review, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the BenQ TH685 Gaming Projector. I'm going to go over the pros and the cons and my own real-life experience that I've had with this gaming projector. And if at any point during the video, if you want to check out the TH685 for yourselves, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. I do got you guys. But let's jump into the review. All right, so getting right into it, this is a 1080p projector at 120 Hz, which is very good for a projector. Projectors are not quite like TVs or monitors. They're kind of in their own category by themselves. So 1080p, 120 Hz is very, very good. Everything is crisp and clear and very, very beautiful. Let's move on to the next, and that is brightness. Let's talk about it. So the brightness on this thing is very, very, very good, okay? This is 3,500 lumens of brightness, which is a lot. Obviously, we don't measure this the same way they're gonna measure TVs and monitors because it's just a different thing. So let me explain it to you. First of all, I'm sure all of you have experienced a projector before. I actually grew up with one and didn't even have a TV in the house. And all day long, when it was daytime out, you basically could not use it because you just couldn't see the image when it was daylight outside. If I wanted to use it in the daytime, I would have to close the blackout curtains to be able to use it. So this thing is not at all like that. It is bright enough to have a bright room, the windows open, middle of the day, you can turn this thing on and still see it, which is just ridiculous. I mean, that's crazy for a projector. So those 3,500 lumens mean even if you have a bright living room with a lot of windows and you don't just use this at night, this is still gonna be a great projector for you. All right, but let's talk about the big thing, gaming performance. I have tested this thing with the PC, an Xbox Series S, and an Xbox Series X, and I will say, oh my God, this thing is so amazing. Now, again, like I said, I grew up with a projector. I tried gaming on the projector that we had, and it wasn't a cheap one, but it definitely wasn't a gaming one. It was you basically could not game on it at all. This one is so unbelievable. I didn't even know the technology was there until I reviewed this one. I was just like crazy. First of all, the latency is 8.3 milliseconds, which is just nuts. That is basically the same as high-end TVs and nice IPS monitors. That's crazy. That is really, really crazy. So basically, while gaming, this is gonna be very similar to gaming on a monitor, which is, as you guys know, very low latency. So first, yeah, I never experienced any issues with like latency or input lag or anything like that, but the overall experience was so awesome, especially with that 120 Hertz. Now you might be like, okay, do you need more resolution for it being 1080p? No, projectors are a little bit different. Your eyes kind of view them differently. You can think, okay, like pixels, but projectors always just kind of display things a little bit differently. So I never thought that I needed more resolution. Obviously, there are 4K projectors out there. I'm not sure if there's 4K gaming ones yet. However, I never felt like I needed more resolution for the stuff to be clear because, oh my God, it was so beautiful. And I have to stress this enough, that the gaming on this thing is like an entirely different experience than pretty much anything. And I've gamed on incredibly nice TVs. I've gamed on the best monitors, the best gaming monitors in the world. And I've even gamed in VR, and all of those are different experiences than the other one. But even going from a monitor to VR, this is a different experience than that. Like comparatively, obviously VR is crazy. Obviously gaming on a monitor is crazy with a really nice one, but gaming on this, with it just being huge in front of you, it's immersive, it's beautiful, it's a really enjoying and relaxing experience. All right, now beyond the gaming experience, obviously I've watched a ton of movies on this thing at this point. It is absolutely amazing for movies as well as games. Obviously with this projector, it is definitely trying to get that low latency, but at the same time, it is a beautiful image. So watching movies and everything on this is just really, really good. Also, I'm not gonna focus on this too much, but the speakers on it are quite good for what you get. I hooked up a speaker system a couple times and I used it quite extensively without a speaker system. And obviously the internal speakers are not gonna compare to a speaker system, but on their own, they're very, very good. All right, now let's talk colors. Obviously, they are gonna be beautiful and very vibrant in games. This is BenQ we're talking about. Obviously, they got their colors down. This hits 95% of the Rec 709 color space, which is very awesome. Obviously, we expect that from BenQ. They have always done an amazing job with colors. All right, now let's talk the difference between the TH685 and the TH685i. Now, the only difference between these two is the Android TV built into them. So if you don't want the Android TV, if you don't want that built-in OS, then go for the TH685. If you do want the TH685i with the Android TV, definitely go for that. The difference is about 50 bucks. Now I have the TH685i, so I do have the Android TV, and it is very nice to have. You have Google Assistant built in. You got a lot of the apps. Obviously, it's Android TV. If you know Android TV, it's very similar to Roku or basically the Fire Stick. A lot of those things is very similar to that. But personally for me, I always have this thing connected to an Xbox. If I'm gonna stream something or watch a movie, I'm just gonna do it from my Xbox anyway. So if you guys are like that, if you're gonna have it always connected to like a PlayStation or a PC or an Xbox, I would just opt for not getting the Android TV because you're gonna save 50 bucks with that. And I think a lot of you probably won't use it, but if you are someone who does wanna use an Android TV, it's only 50 bucks more. But yeah, that's the only difference. They are the same projector besides that. All right, moving on, this has digital lens shift. Obviously, we expect that. But beyond that, it has automatic vertical keystones, which is like crazy awesome. Now, when you get this, you get a feeling of this is very premium. This is a very premium projector. You can get cheap projectors, but this one, it is very nice. So basically what that means is when you're setting up your projector and you angle it down or up, it's basically going to change the keystone to match and flatten the display on the wall for you instead of having to not do it yourself. And personally, from using this and setting it up, I set it up multiple times in different rooms, different locations. The setup process is so easy. So if you guys are gonna mount to the ceiling, obviously you'll use that once and never use it again. But if you are someone who's gonna be setting this up, maybe you bump the table a little bit and you wanna readjust it. You know, if you're not mounting it to the ceiling, this is actually really nice to have. All right, now let's talk about the next awesome pro. This does not need a projector screen to be able to use this thing and it look amazing. So I've both used this with a projector screen, a very nice one with all the crystals in it, and just projected it against the wall. And honestly, this one looks better projected against a wall than it does on a screen. The reason is the screen actually makes it a little bit brighter because of all the crystals. And at some points it was a little bit too bright. I was like, okay, it's a little too bright. So against the wall is like the absolute perfect amount. Now, I projected against a white wall, but it does have this in the settings that you can actually change it to a different wall color. So if you have like a yellow wall or like an off-white, that will change the colors to accurately represent what the color would be. So that's awesome because it just creates basically, instead of having to repaint your wall white or to get a screen, you can just use it how you have your walls, which is just an awesome thing to have. All right, now this obviously does have a manual zoom and a manual focus. It's very easy to get it crisp. Just everything is high quality and very well made. Overall, the build quality of the projector is just premium. And that's just what BenQ gives you. All right, now let's talk the only con I really have with this projector, which is the menu system. It is pretty big, it's very extensive, which is kind of a pro because I like that it has a ton of features. I've listed some of the biggest ones and some of my own real life experience, but if I've listed all the features that this thing has, I would be going on for an hour. It is absolutely nuts how much is in the menu system, which is great if you want to tinker with stuff. I'm a big tech guy, so I love doing that, but it does take some time to really understand where everything is. There is a learning curve, but the nice thing with that is once you learn it, you can adjust it and fine tune it exactly how you like. But it definitely will take you some time to get used to that menu system. But overall, for the money, I was absolutely blown away with how cheap this thing is. And it's very premium, but for what you get, I mean, you can get a massive screen out of this thing. 120 hertz, amazing gaming performance, fantastic brightness in the daytime. For the price of this thing, it's really a steal. Again, guys, if you wanna check out this projector, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. I do got you guys. But yeah, this projector has been absolutely awesome to review. I took quite a long time to review this, but I cannot tell you how awesome it is to game on this thing. Watching movies is fantastic, but where this thing really shines is that gaming performance, just amazing. I mean, I've gamed on many projectors before that were not designed for gaming, and this thing is just so much better. It's like incredibly seamless. Everything is quick to do. It's also quick to turn on, which is not normal for projectors, which is a really nice thing to see. But overall, this thing is awesome. If you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you out, help me out and throw a like below. And if you enjoy videos like this, peripheral reviews, keyboard reviews, I might be doing some more projector reviews. So if you guys enjoy that, please consider subscribing below. But this was Consumer Tech Review, and I'll see you guys in the next video.